Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mench. Today I'm going to do another video about Qtile. And normally I never do a video on the same topic 3 times in a row, but I'm doing another video on Qtile because I've made changes to my configuration file and I learned a few things from viewers who are commenting in the comments underneath the last video. So let's get to it. So right now, I'm in my main production computer. I'm running Arch Linux with the Qtile window manager. And you can see already I've made some changes. I made more than these, but I put this up here. Press mod key P to spawn. And I also have a logout. And to show you this logout, I'm going to use my capture card to record what's happening in my other real bare metal computer that's running Debian with the Qtile window manager. And then I'm going to come back and do most of the video in here in my Arch Linux system. And I'm going to try to make it a short video. I'll try not to be too long, okay? So now my capture card is on and I'm recording what's going on in my real bare metal computer that's running Debian with the Qtile window manager. And you could just do mod key enter. Could just do a fast fetch. And you can see I'm in Debian 13 Trixie. This is my Acer Aspire 3950. And I'm running Qtile. I'm running Xterm. So in case you don't know, Qtile is in the main Debian repository for the first time. So I'm going to close this. Shift mod key C is going to close it. So this here, I took this out of my configuration file for the past, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years, because I didn't need it. And I really don't need it now, but it's good to have it there for new people who are not used to using Qtile, who are new to Qtile. So I put it back in, and I just did it the other day. Now, I put it back in, but I changed something, because in the default, this note is in there in the default, but in the default, it says mod-R, because in the default configuration, to spawn an app, you're going to click on the mod key and the R. So in my configuration file, I've always had it mod key P to spawn an app because that's the way it was in the Awesome Window Manager by default. And the Awesome Window Manager was the first window manager I ever used. So I changed it to mod key P, but I took this thing out because I didn't really need the note. So I put it back in, but I changed the note to be P rather than an R. So if you do mod key P, it's going to spawn. You can see right here, we're going to be spawning, and I'm going to type in Firefox. Okay, and there's Firefox. So shift mod key C is going to close that. So I put this back in and I changed the R to a P. Another thing I put back in is this. So this is in the default Qtile configuration file, but it doesn't say logout, it says shut down. And like 2.5 years ago or 3 years ago, I took this out of my configuration file because I didn't need it. And I also took it out because I didn't like the fact that it said shut down. So, I mean, if I want to log out, shift mod key Q will log you out, right? And that's not, well, actually, that's part of my configuration file because it's a different key binding to log out in a default configuration file. And let's go back in. So now I put it back in because it's good to have there for new users, people who really don't know how to use Qtile, but they want to give it a try. So I put it back in and I changed 2 things about this. Number 1, I changed the note from shutdown to logout. Now in the default, it says shutdown, but in the default, when you click it on, it gives you a 5-second rundown and it doesn't shut your computer down. It just logs you out of Qtile. So it's either going to log you out to the TTY if you're logging in with StartX, or it's going to log you out to your display manager or your login manager, regardless of whether it is, LightDM, GDM, or some other login manager, right? SDDM. So that's what it's going to do normally. So I don't know why the Qtile developers by default put the word in there to shut down, because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't shut down your computer. It just logs you out of Qtile, like I said, to the TTY or to your display manager or your login manager. So I put it back. So I took this out a long time ago, like 3 years ago. I took it out so you can't see it. So I put it back in. I changed the note from shutdown to logout, and I changed the 5-second countdown to 10 seconds. So if we click it on, there's going to be a 9-second countdown, and it's going to log us out of Qtile. So let's just wait a second and let's log out. Okay, so it logs us out to the TTY because I don't have a display manager in here. Like I said, I guess I'm repeating myself too much. In the default configuration file, it says shut down with a 5-second countdown, but it just logs you out. It doesn't shut your computer down. Now, let's click it on again. So it gives you a 9-second count, a 10-second countdown. Let's say you clicked it on by accident. So if you click it again, it's going to stop it, right? So you click it on, gives you 9 seconds. Oh, I hit that by accident. Let's stop it. Click it again and it stops. So it doesn't log you out of Qtile, because if you log out of Qtile, it's going to close all your apps. And perhaps you have something open that you didn't save. Now, you can easily change that 8 seconds to back to 5 seconds or 3 seconds. And I'm going to show you how to do that after. So now I'm going to start recording from my main production computer because I don't need to be in here. But don't go away. I'll be back. I'm back. So now I'm back in my main production computer that's running Arch Linux with the Qtile window manager and my new Qtile window manager configuration file, or my revised configuration file. So I'm just going to open up a terminal and I'm going to do a fast fetch here. Fast fetch. You can see I'm in Arch Linux. This is a Dell Optiplex 7010. I'm running Qtile and I'm using Xterm. And of course the memory is running high because I have OBS Studio recording. Let's close that. So before in my configuration file, I had a key binding to open up Firefox, and it was mod key F, F for Firefox. And I changed it to mod key W, and I'm going to explain why afterwards. So mod key W is going to open up Firefox now, and there's Firefox. Okay, Control mod key C is going to close it. Now I'm going to open up Terminal. And like I said in my other videos, I have an alias to quickly get into Qtile configuration file. If you're using my Zesh configuration file, you can type in the alias to get quickly into there. If you're not using my Zesh configuration file, you're using your own Zesh configuration file, or you're using bash, then you got to go into .config/Qtile. So I'm going to do Qtile as my alias, config. Now we're in the configuration file. Let's just go up to the top. So these are some of the changes I made in here. So line 42, I typed in my browser equals Firefox. Okay. And then let's go down to, so if you see on line 89, I changed that. Keymod W is going to open my browser. So really, and the reason why I did that, well, I changed it to W for another reason, which I'm going to explain in a moment. But the reason why I did it this way is that if you decide you want a different browser to be your default browser, no matter what it is, whether it's Brave browser, LibreFox, or some other browser, if you just type it in there, then whenever you do a mod key W, it's going to open up that browser. Okay, so you just type in there Brave browser or Google Chrome or whatever it is you're using, or LibreFox, and it's going to make that your browser. If you type in mod key W, it's going to open it. Now, the reason why I changed it from mod key F to open up Firefox to mod key W is because of this. So let's open up something else here. Let's open up Firefox. Mod key W is going to open up Firefox. Okay. So by default in Qtile, if you hit mod key F, it's going to do this. It's going to take the focus window and make it full screen. Mod key F. So there, it's full screen now. Okay. Now if I hit mod key F again, it brings it back there. In my previous configuration file, I took out mod key F to make full screen because I wasn't using it, and it was conflicting with mod key F to open up Firefox. So now I put it back in. So that's why I changed Firefox from mod key F to open up Firefox to mod key W to open up Firefox. Let's open up another one. Let's open up my file manager. So now I have 3 open. So wherever the focus is, if I do mod key F, makes it full screen. Mod key F brings it back. I put the focus on Firefox. Mod key F makes it full screen. Mod key F brings it back. Or I can put the focus on my file manager. Mod key F makes it full screen. Mod key F brings it back. Okay. So that's why I changed opening Firefox from mod key F to mod key W. Now, there's another easy way when you have several apps open up on the same workspace or the same group, because in Qtile, it's called groups. There's another way to do that, and that's this. So here we have 3 apps opened up. You could do a mod key tab, and it's going to affect the app where your focus is. So right now, my focus is on Firefox. Now, up here, in my new configuration file, well, actually, in my last video, I had already changed this part. I activated 4 types of layouts. Now, previously in my old configuration file, I only had 2 layouts activated. And in my last video, I activated 4 layouts. So I still have 4 layouts activated. So mod key tab changes the layout. So let's say my focus is on Firefox. Mod key tab makes it maximized. Mod key tab again makes it columns. Mod key tab again makes it monad wide. And mod key tab again brings it back to monad tall. It's going to affect wherever your focus is, so you don't have to worry about moving your mouse to get to there and accidentally changing the focus like I showed in my last video. So let's say I want to make my file manager full screen, or I want to change it to a different layout. If I go here, see the focus changes. By the time I get to here to click it on, the focus changes. But if I leave my mouse on my file manager, or leave the focus on the file manager and just hit mod key tab, there, it's full screen. Hit it again, we go to the next layout, which is columns. Hit it again, now we're on monad wide. Hit it again, monad tall. And if I just put the focus on my on Xterm and hit mod key tab, makes that full screen, makes it columns, makes it monad wide, brings it back to monad tall. So I really like this way. This is something that a viewer, actually a couple of viewers wrote in and told me about this. And also the other thing too, with the mod key F, a couple of viewers wrote in and mentioned this to me. Mod key tab solves the problem of accidentally changing the focus when you want to change a layout on a specific app. So now I'm going to close Firefox, and I'm going to close my file manager. I don't need that open. So line 147 to 151 is in the original default configuration file, but I took it out of my configuration file a couple years ago, and I didn't comment it out. I deleted it. So I put it back in. So mod key F is going to make full screen. And that's the line there. And if you don't like it, you could either delete it or comment it out. It's better to comment things out. That way, if you decide down the road you want it back in, you don't have to remember how to type it out, and you don't have to look it up to figure out how to type out the correct command. So anyways, I put that back in. Now on line 243, is the countdown, and I have it at 10. 10 is kind of long. So if you want the countdown to change to 5, 4, 3, whatever seconds you want. And on line 244, I changed the note from shut down to log out. Because even when the note says shut down, it doesn't shut down your computer. It just logs you out of Qtile to your display manager or the TTY. So I changed the note to log out. And also I changed the foreground on line 244 to be red. And on line 236, I changed this note here from mod key -R, which is in the default. I changed it to mod key -P. I changed the note, and you can see in line 236 right here, it's kind of hard to see because it's a pretty long command and it's all jumbled. But left of the cursor there, you can see mod key -P and GT. Now I don't know what the GT stands for. Can I highlight it? But there, I changed that. In the default, that's an R, and I changed it to a P. Now, of course, if you don't want this note, because this is just a note, right? It's not a click on. It's just telling you that mod key P will open up the run launcher so you can spawn an app. So if you don't want that note there, just comment it out. And I suggest commenting it out rather than deleting it. And the same thing with this logout. If you don't want this logout to be there, right? If you don't want that to be there, I suggest commenting it out. And that's it. In this video, I showed you a few changes that I made to my Qtile configuration file. And that revised configuration file for Qtile will be available for you to download and use for free by the time this video is posted. And like I said in the introduction, I've never made a video on the same topic 3 times in a row. But because a couple of viewers wrote in and made some suggestions to me, and I changed my configuration file, I thought I'd make another video. If you never downloaded my configuration file before, go into the terminal and type in the command that's in the show notes of every video. If you downloaded my configuration file in the past and you want to update it, you got to go into the Mench directory and type in git pull, because by the time this video is posted, my most current revised version of Qtile configuration file will be uploaded. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I am the Linux Mench.